Aditya chose to introduce his essay with a reference to the Manhattan Project, led by the physicist Robert Oppenheimer. Animatia's strategy was to highlight how leaders who combined logic with empathy, like Akbar, Mandela, and Obama, ushered in positive change, while those driven by cold logic, such as Stalin and Hitler, led their nations into darkness. For his introduction, Puru Raj chose the iconic example of Mahatma Gandhi's hunger strike against the British. Next, we have is Prajanandan Giri, who wrote on the topic just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly. Medha used the example of ISRO's Chandrayaan mission to illustrate this concept. Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. If you are preparing for the UPSC mains, you know how crucial the essay paper can be. A well-crafted introduction not only grabs the examiner's attention, but also sets the tone for your entire essay. Today, we are going to delve into the introductions written by some of the top rankers in the recent years. And I'll suggest alternative anecdotes that you can use to make your essay stand out. So let us begin. We will now go through Aditya Srivastav's essay copy, who tackled a thought-provoking question with the quote, "A mind all logic is like a knife all blade. It makes the hand bleed that uses it." Aditya chose to introduce his essay with a reference to the Manhattan Project, led by the physicist Robert Oppenheimer. Now, for those who might not be familiar, Oppenheimer is often called the father of atomic bomb. During World War II, he led the Manhattan Project, which culminated in the creation of nuclear weapons. His story is a chilling example of how pure logic, unchecked by moral considerations, can lead to catastrophic consequences. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki are stark reminders of what happens when reason becomes disconnected from humanity. Aditya's use of this story was brilliant because it immediately set the tone for a discussion on the balance between logic and empathy, a balance that is crucial not just in war but in governance as well. But what if you want to take a different route? Let us explore some alternative anecdotes on the same topic. First, consider the events of 1975 when Prime Minister Indira Gandhi declared a state of emergency in India. Her decision was driven by logic, a need to control the situation, but it was devoid of empathy, leading to widespread suppression of civil rights and ultimately a significant loss of public trust. Another option is the story of Fritz Haber, a German chemist who is known for his work for both Haber process, which revolutionized agriculture and chemical warfare during World War I. While his contributions to science were immense, his work on poison gas is a grim reminder of logic divorced from moral responsibility. These alternatives show how logic without tempering force of compassion can lead to destructive outcomes. They add depth to your argument while offering a fresh narrative that's different from the more commonly used stories. Next we have is Animesh Pradhan, who also addressed the logic versus emotion debate but took a different approach. He contrasted the leadership styles of Akbar, Nelson Mandela, and Barack Obama with those of Stalin and Hitler. This comparison made his introduction both dramatic and insightful. Animatia's strategy was to highlight how leaders who combined logic with empathy, like Akbar, Mandela, and Obama, ushered in positive change, while those driven by cold logic, such as Stalin and Hitler, led their nations into darkness. The stark contrast between these figures underscores the importance of balancing reason with the compassion in leadership. This comparison worked well because it clearly showed the different paths leaders can take when they either balance or neglect empathy in their decision making. But if you're looking to bring in a fresh contrast into your essay, here are some alternative anecdotes that you might use. For a fresh take, let us consider Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel with someone like General Dyer of the Jallianwala Bagh. Patel, known as the Iron Man of India, was a firm and logical leader, but his decisions were always guided by empathy and the broader good of nation. On the other hand, General Dyer's cold logical order to fire on unarmed civilians during the massacre shows the destructive power of logic devoid of humanity. Another option could be comparing Chanakya, the ancient Indian strategist, with Machiavelli. Chanakya's strategy, while logical and calculated, were always rooted in the welfare of the state and its people. In contrast, Machiavelli's philosophy often summarized the ends justifies the means, which represents a more ruthless approach where logic overrides ethical considerations. These contrasting anecdotes vividly illustrate the outcomes of different leadership styles. One where logic is balanced with empathy, and other where it is not. By using such contrast, you not only provide a well rounded argument but also bring a fresh perspective that will capture the examiner's attention. Now, let us talk about Pururaj, who tackled a moral dilemma with the quote, "The worst places in hell are reserved for those who maintain their neutrality in the times of moral crisis." For his introduction, Pururaj chose the iconic example of Mahatma Gandhi's hunger strike against the British. Mahatma Gandhi's hunger strike were a powerful form of non-violent protest, forcing the British government to confront the injustice of their policies in India. By refusing to stay neutral in the face of moral wrongs, Gandhi embodied the very essence of active resistance against oppression. Pururaj's choice of this anecdote brilliantly set up his argument about the dangers of moral indifference. But if you want to use a different historical moment to make a similar point, here are a couple of alternatives. During World War I, there were countless acts of courage by individuals who defied the Nazi regime to protect Jews. People like Oskar Schindler and the members of the Danish resistance risked everything to save lives, refusing to remain neutral in the face of evil. Their actions are a powerful reminder that moral courage often means taking a stand even when it's dangerous. Another example is the Bhopal gas tragedy of 1984, where the failure of Union Carbide and the local government to act responsibly led to one of the worst industrial disasters in the history. This tragedy underscored the catastrophic consequences of moral negligence and serves as a stark reminder that neutrality can just be as damaging as direct harm. These examples highlight the importance of moral responsibility, offering a fresh way to engage with the theme of moral courage in your essay. By using such stories, you can add both emotional weight and originality to your arguments. Now, let us look at Animesh Verma's copy, who secured All India rank 38. He attempted the topic, "Keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see a shadow." His introduction began with a powerful anecdote about Thomas Edison. Edison, as we all know, was a prolific inventor, but his path to success wasn't smooth. Animesh described how Edison faced countless failures while trying to invent the light bulb. Despite these setbacks, he kept his focus on the end goal, refusing to be discouraged by the shadows of failure. This story beautifully embodies the essence of the topic, focusing on the positive and staying resilient in the face of challenges. Animesh's introduction does a great job of hooking the reader by using a well-known figure and universally relatable theme of persistence. It effectively sets a positive and a motivational tone for the essay. Now let us consider some alternative anecdotes that you could have used in this very topic. Now let us take an example of Helen Keller. Imagine being both blind and deaf in a world that was not yet equipped to accommodate such disabilities. Yet, Helen Keller never let her physical limitations define her. She once said, "Keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see the shadow." Keller's story is not just about overcoming adversity, it is also about choosing to focus on what you can do rather than what you cannot. Now, let us also consider the example of Mother Teresa, who was known for her work among the poorest of the poor in Kolkata. Mother Teresa's life was filled with challenges and hardships, but she always chose to focus on serving others, seeing light in humanity rather than shadows of poverty and despair. Her story emphasizes the idea of maintaining a positive outlook even when surrounded by overwhelming negativity. Consider the story of Sachin Tendulkar here as well. Often he was regarded as one of the greatest cricketers of all time. His career was not without failures. There were many times when he struggled with the form of injuries. However, Tendulkar always kept his focus on the game, on his love for cricket, rather than the pressures or criticisms that often followed him. His focus on the positive aspect of his career rather than the shadows of failure helped him achieve unparalleled success in his field. Now, let us also have a look at the introduction by Ayushi Pradhan. She attempted the topic, "A mind all logic is like a knife all blade. It cuts the hand that uses it." She started the introduction with a reference to the famous novel Frankenstein. In Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Dr. Victor uses his vast scientific knowledge to create life. However, his pursuit of logic and science without considering the ethical and emotional consequences leads to disastrous results. The creature he creates becomes his greatest tormentor and ultimately his destruction. This introduction by Ayushi effectively illustrates the dangers of relying solely on logic without balancing it with empathy or moral considerations. Ayushi's choice is very apt here because it brings in a classic literary example that perfectly encapsulates the theme. It's a story that most educated readers will be familiar with, and it sets the stage for a discussion on the importance of balance between logic and humanity. If you're looking for different angles, here are some alternative anecdotes that you might use in your introductions. In Greek mythology, King Midas was granted a wish by the god, and he chose for everything he touched to turn to gold. Initially, this seemed like a logical decision. Who wouldn't want infinite wealth? But Midas soon realized that this gift was actually a curse when he accidentally turned his own daughter into gold. This story illustrates how logic, when not tempered with wisdom, can lead to self-destruction. Here, you can also use the example of King Aurangzeb versus Emperor Akbar. In Indian history, we see a stark contrast between both the kings, who is, on the one hand, there is Akbar, who is celebrated for his wisdom and balanced approach to governance, and on the other hand is Aurangzeb, whose rigid adherence to logic and orthodoxy led to his empire's decline. Akbar's policies were inclusive, considering the diverse fabric of his empire, while Aurangzeb's strict and logical enforcement of Islamic laws alienated large sections of the population. This comparison shows how an over-reliance on rigid logic without flexibility or compassion can have dire consequences. Next we have is Prajanandan Giri, who wrote on the topic, "Just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly." He began his essay with the story of a Paralympic gold medalist, Avani Lekhara. Avani's story is truly inspiring. After a tragic car accident left her paralyzed from the waist down, it would have been easy for her to lose hope. Instead, she channeled her energy into sports and eventually became the first Indian woman to win a Paralympic gold medal in shooting. This story perfectly aligns with the essay's theme, showing how even in the darkest times, new possibilities can always emerge. Prajanandan's introduction is excellent because It provides contemporary and relatable example. It's a story of resilience and transformation, perfectly encapsulating the idea of emerging stronger after a setback. Let us consider some alternative stories to this very topic. You can take the example of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. After the atomic bombings in 1945, these cities were left in ruins, and it seemed like all hope was lost for them. However, both Hiroshima and Nagasaki rose from the ashes, transforming into symbols of peace and resilience. This story shows that even in the face of total destruction, there is potential for renewal and growth. Malvika Iyer is another inspiring Indian figure who, after losing her hands in a bomb blast at the age of 13, Malvika didn't give up. She went on to become a disability rights activist and a motivational speaker, providing that our darkest moments can lead to our most significant transformations. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in the prison under South Africa's apartheid regime. For many, such a sentence would signal the end of their life's purpose. But Mandela emerged from the prison more determined than ever, eventually leading his country to freedom and becoming a global symbol of resistance against oppression. His story embodies the idea that just when it seems like all is lost, something beautiful and powerful can emerge. Now let's discuss Medha Anand's essay, where she also wrote on the topic, Keep Your Face to the Sunshine and You Cannot See a Shadow. Medha used the example of ISRO's Chandrayaan mission to illustrate this concept. Medha highlighted how ISRO, despite numerous challenges and limited resources, remained focused on its goal of exploring the moon. The success of the Chandrayaan mission wasn't just scientific achievement, but it was also national pride that shows how keeping a positive outlook and staying committed to a vision can lead to incredible results. This introduction is powerful because it ties a significant national achievement to the topic, making it both relatable and inspiring. Here are some other anecdotes that you could have chosen instead of what Medha used. Before building his empire, Walt Disney faced numerous failures. He was once fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination, and his first company also went bankrupt. Yet, Disney kept his focus on his dreams of storytelling and creativity. Today, his name is synonymous with the imagination and success, illustrating how focusing on the positive and pushing forward can overcome any shadow of failure. Swami Vivekanand, before his historic speech at the Parliament of World's Religion in Chicago in 1893, faced several challenges, including financial difficulties and skepticism from his peers. Despite these hurdles, he kept his faith and focus on his mission to spread the message of Vedanta. His speech not only won the hearts of the audience but also marked the beginning of global recognition for Indian spirituality. His story is a testament to the power focusing on the positive and staying true to one's mission. Before becoming one of the best-selling authors in history, J.K. Rowling was a struggling single mother living on welfare. Her first copy of Harry Potter book was rejected by 12 publishers, but she didn't give up. By keeping her focus on her passion for writing, she eventually found a publisher, and the rest is history. Rowling's story is a prime example of how focusing on the light, which is your dreams and goals, can help you overcome the darkest of times. Now let us start with Nandala Sainkiran's essay. He tackled the topic, freedom is not worth having if it doesn't include the freedom to make mistakes. Sainkiran chose to highlight the story of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, particularly focusing on his earlier failures of ISRO's space missions. Despite these setbacks, Dr. Kalam and his team continued their work with determination, which eventually led to successful space missions. and established India as a major player in the space exploration. This anecdote works wonderfully because it connects deeply with the Indian audience, drawing from the life of a beloved figure who epitomizes perseverance and the importance of learning from mistakes. But let's think of another example. How about the Amul Dairy Cooperative? In its early days, the corporation faced significant challenges and even failures. Yet those early mistakes were crucial as they helped refine the cooperative's methods and ultimately transformed India's dairy industry. Kurian's story, much like Dr. Kalam's, shows that mistakes are an essential part of the journey to success. Next up is Rouhani, who wrote on the topic, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." Rouhani used the story of Thomas Edison. She focused on how Edison's mother nurtured his curiosity and encouraged his learning despite his struggles in school. This support played a crucial role in Edison's development, leading him to become one of the greatest inventors in history. This is a great choice because it highlights the power of early intervention and support in shaping a person's future. But here's another story to consider. Frederick Douglass, born into slavery, managed to learn to read and write against all odds. His early education became the foundation for his later work as a leading slavery abolishionist. This anecdote vividly demonstrates how nurturing a child's potential can prevent the kind of deep psychological scars that are much harder to heal later in life. Now let us discuss Vikram Grewal's copy. His topic was, "Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." Vikram drew a parallel between Nelson Mandela's struggle against the apartheid and the Greek legends. Mandela, despite being imprisoned for 27 years, never gave up on his fight for equality and justice. Similarly, Greek heroes faced numerous trials but persisted until they achieved their goals. This introduction is particularly effective because it connects two very different cultural contexts to illustrate a universal truth about resilience. As an alternative, consider the story of Anand Kumar, the founder of Super 30. Despite facing financial difficulties and even threats, Anand continued his work, helping underprivileged students to crack IIT entrance exams. His journey is a powerful testament to the idea that true glory lies in overcoming obstacles and rising after every time we fall. Shruti Sharma tackled the topic "Feminism is for everybody." She used the example of Gargi, an ancient Indian philosopher who challenged Rishi Yajnavalkya's in a debate. Gargi's courage and intellect in a male-dominated society exemplify the principles of feminism long before the term was even coined. This introduction is powerful because it roots the concept of feminism in India's own rich intellectual history. For a different perspective, let's look at the story of Mulan from Chinese mythology. Mulan, who disguised herself as a man to take her father's place in the army, broke all the gender norms and demonstrated that courage and competence are not confined by gender only. Her story, like Gargi's, underscores the universal nature of feminist ideals. And there you have it. We have explored how some of the top UPSC rankers crafted their essays introduction and discussed alternative anecdotes that you can use to make sure that your essays are unique and impactful. Remember, the key to a great introduction is not just choosing in a powerful story, but in how well you connect it to your essay topic. By drawing from diverse sources, whether it is mythology, history, science, or even contemporary events, you can create an introduction that not only grabs attention but also sets a strong foundation for the rest of your essay. Thank you.